Alright guys, I'm back. This is going to be my first lure review that I've done in about 3 weeks, so I apologize for the hiatus I took there. We got done with the lipless crankbaits, and then I was just going to do some random reviews, I guess. So there were some reviews that I wanted to get done, and I still plan on getting them done, but it was actually nice to just take a little break and step away from YouTube for a little bit, being as we are right in the middle of fishing season, or pretty much right in the thick of fishing season is what I should say, and just been out doing a lot of fishing now. So, but now I'm back and I'm ready to do some reviews. I did my tackle warehouse order for my topwater hollow body frogs this morning, and they'll be overnighted, so they should be here tomorrow. So tomorrow is Saturday, and Golden State Overnight will get them to you on Saturday delivery, from what I understand. So I should have those in the morning, and I should be able to do the review or the unboxing video. So that'll be cool to check that out. So anyway, this is going to be on this review is on the Damiki Dolphin. This is a review that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I've had this lure for a few months, and I've been tossing it out there here and there, kind of getting to know the idiosyncrasies of the lure. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I know, and compare it up against another favorite lure of mine, the Super Spook Junior. So let's check it out. Alright guys, so the Damiki Dolphin. As far as I'm concerned, the Dolphin comes in only one size, and it's actually badged on the back of only one of the lures that I have here. It says Dolphin 90. 90 meaning the length of it in millimeters. But it wouldn't surprise me if there would be another size coming out somewhere in the future, or if there is another size out there and it's just not available here in the States. But as far as this one size is concerned, it has a length of 3.5 inches, a weight of 2/5 of an ounce, and obviously, being that it's a topwater lure, it's a floating style lure. Give you guys a measurement here from the front ring. The front ring has a circle split ring on it, and I'll go into that split ring here in a minute here. But from that front ring to the rear ring, it is about 3 3/4 inches, a little over 3 3/4 inches, and then without the rings, just the body of the bait is about 3 5/8, so a little under 3 5/8 inches. So it's a little bit on the smaller side of the spectrum as far as the topwater walk the dog style bait lure is concerned. It reminds me a lot of the Super Spook Junior, so I'll be comparing it up against that because it's almost that same size there. One of the first things you notice about it, though, the Super Spook Junior is just more cigar shaped, where this one actually has a little bit more of a bait fish profile to it, I guess, where it kind of is fatter in the front and kind of slims down towards the back there. In my opinion, it has a little bit of undersized hooks on it. I think that these are size 5 or size 6, probably size 5, and I think that they could afford to be maybe a size 4. I replaced the hooks on this Super Spook Junior here, and you probably can't really tell the disparity between, but I think that it could probably afford to go with something a little larger there. Now, about this split ring up front, normally I really wouldn't mind having a split ring on the front there, but I always find myself, especially on my topwater lures, not so much on rip baits and crankbaits, but definitely on topwater lures, I always tie a loop knot. And if you don't know how to tie a loop knot, Google search it and learn how to tie a loop knot, because that's going to increase your action and let the bait walk a little bit more freely, especially on these walking style baits. Maybe not so much on a popper where you're just kind of twitching it in the water, but on a walking style bait, learn how to tie a loop knot. With that being said, I think that for those of you that tie loop knots, I don't really think it's necessary to have a split ring. It might just be one more thing to kind of get tangled up in the line there. And I know on the Super Spook Juniors, everybody has these Super Spook Juniors or Super Spooks or Zara Spooks, what have you. And I don't think they come with, at least these Super Spook Juniors don't come with the split rings on the front, and they walk perfectly. So with that being said, might be a little bit superfluous to have the split ring on the front there. So it does have a rattling system. It's kind of subtle in the fact that You can listen to a Super Spook Junior here, and it's very loud one knocker sound. And the Dolphin has kind of a mixture of the two. I'll go ahead and show you on this clear. They call it Phantom. You have the weighting system, which also like the Super Spook Junior doubles as the rattling system in it. So you've got the two medium-sized weights here, and then you got a larger one knocking ball with a smaller BB right in the rear of that one knocking ball there. So it's kind of got a mixture of sounds, but all of that is still fairly subtle. So you guys get the idea. It's fairly subtle. Now you can hear it better out on the water. The water seems to really amplify the sound, so you can really hear it a lot better. So I wouldn't pass any judgment on it just by hearing it over your computer or your phone or whatever you're watching this video on. But I think that it is very subtle compared to something like a Super Spook Junior. So I don't think that you would necessarily buy this bait for the sound that it's going to make. Walking the dog, it does walk fairly easily. It has more of a tight walk to it. It doesn't really glide as much as it just kind of darts back and forth. And what I find is that when you are walking it back and forth, you'll find it kind of bob down underwater. Maybe like every third or fourth snap of the line, you'll find that it just kind of bobs under the water and pops back up, which is something that's desirable for some people that are into these walk the dog style topwater lures. As far as when it sits on top of the water while it's floating at rest, it kind of has a mixture of both horizontal and up and down. It kind of sits like right in the middle of that. More on the horizontal side of it. It sits about right there in the water, where horizontal would be right there. So if it was sitting horizontal, it would actually sits right about there. So you have your completely blacked out Damiki eye, something you come to expect from the Damiki lures. If I can get it to focus there. Obviously you see that this one has the transparent holographic finish to it, so you can see the little holograms in the finish there. This one is more of that foil style finish, but still has that holographic color changing effect to it in the overall foil pattern on the bait. Same with this one, where this one's more chartreuse. So, and obviously it comes with the Damiki Viper hooks, which they haven't failed me. The only thing I wish on this bait is that I wish that they were slightly bigger. Maybe like, I don't think that these are size 4. I'm pretty sure that these are 5s. And a size 4, I suppose you can go with a size 2, but you're probably going to overload the bait. But a size 4, I think that the bait might sit maybe a little bit lower in the water, but not much. I think it could afford to go with just slightly bigger hooks. So let's go over the colors here. Pretty good color selection. Again, with a topwater lure, it's not as imperative. You just kind of got to be in the ballpark in a topwater lure for color. It's a reaction strike, so they're going to be going more for the sound and mainly the movement of the bait, because it is a reaction strike that we're trying to incite. So this one's called Chartreuse Shad, and it's just chartreuse on the back, foil on the side, and pearl on the belly with a slight orange nose or throat, what have you. So you can also see here that there's not a whole lot of definition in the body there. It has the raised gill plates, and it's got a lot of definition there in the mouth, but the body is overall just a smooth body. So there is Chartreuse Shad. Next one we have here is just called Phantom. Phantom has that bronze back to it, mainly transparent. I mean, it's very clear, but it does have those holographic, I guess, squares or circles. They're very small on there, and you can't really see them, but they have the holographic shapes all over them. If I hold it in off angle, you can kind of see what I'm talking about all those little shapes that are the holograms on the body. So it does have that color changing effect to it. Very good clear water lure, bright sunny day type thing, and just clear on the bottom. So this one's called Phantom. And the last one we have here is called Black Hollow. And like the Chartreuse Shad here, it's the same exact thing except for it's painted black on the back of it. And like I said, this one actually says Dolphin 90, where the other ones say PAC for Pro English Choice. So you can see that says PAC and Damiki right there on the back. So there's Black Hollow. Alright guys, so that's the review of the Damiki Dolphin. Check it out. It's like I said, it's more on the small side of the spectrum as far as topwater lures are concerned. I'll go ahead and show you like here is the Realis Pencil 110, just to give you guys an idea of a bigger lure. So it is on the small side of the spectrum as far as topwater lures are concerned, the walk the dog style lures. So check it out when you guys get the opportunity. If you guys like the video, hit the like button down here in the lower left corner. If you guys have any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot and stay tuned for the frogs. Frogs are coming up next.